Hello, good afternoon, welcome, namaste, greetings. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Time to put the daily dose of insults and controversy and lies and finger pointing and pitchforks and torches down and just take a breath, let it out, get a sip of your favorite cup of coffee or tea, put on that comfy sweatshirt, and look at the Thursday tabletop role-playing game Tidbits. Because maybe it won't get me as much heat as the finger pointing. I save that for Fridays. But it doesn't cause me as many ulcers, and it doesn't make me look as stupid. So here's today's news. What's new? And we've got a plethora, there's a word you don't hear often, a plethora of new stuff from Modifius for the month of July, August, whatever it is. We've got coming out from them something called Winter of the Atom. This is a Fallout role-playing game book. It's a quest book for Fallout. 240-page Winter of the Atom quest book will... So what is this? Is this like a choose your own adventure? It's got characters in it. No, I guess it's a role-playing game Winter of the Atom quest book. It's 248-page Winter of the Atom quest book. Face the fearsome sect of the Children of the Atom. Sandbox sort of that can take you up to level 21. You meet a brand new group of survivors. You create characters with new origin options. You enter your game with new rules for surviving winter and gaining reputation with settlements, and it does require the core rules. So yeah, I guess it's an adventure path, but they're calling it a quest book. Okay, we know the Dreams and Machine starter set and Quick Start is available. We went through the Dreams and Machine Quick Start earlier today. It's fine. I get what they're trying to go for, so we'll see what happens. We got something called Brick Wars coming out. Brick Wars is starting the pre-orders. I guess this is their rules system for doing combat using minifigs and stuff like that. So will you conquer your foes through strength of arms, cunning tactics, or abundance of Dunlab? Or will you see your minifigs hilariously blown to plastic scraps and crushed underfoot? No sacrifice is too outrageous in the fight to save off peace another day. Can you wreck construction brick house and have enough fun to save the brick first? That's all we know about it. So I guess they're coming up with a miniature combat rule system for minifigs. That'll be interesting and fun. I'm sure people have tried that before, right? Yes? No? I don't know. We'll see. Sounds fun. So could be a blast. I don't know. And we have the Lower Deck campaign guide available. For the Star Trek, the adventure setting. Lower Deck is canon because the characters from Lower Deck showed up on season 2 of Strange New World. So we know exactly when Lower Deck takes place in the universe, which is weird because Lower Deck has also met Janeway. But okay, they did show up in Strange New World, so I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, I haven't seen that episode yet. But if you are a fan of the Lower Deck animated cartoon on the Paramount station, and if you're not aware of it, Lower Decks is an animated cartoon set in the Star Trek universe dealing with everybody else. Star Trek usually focuses on the captain and the bridge crew and one or two others. There's hundreds of other guys that are always behind them, Rodriguez and Ramirez and Morano, but we don't know anything about them. Well, Lower Deck, the animated cartoon, is all about those guys and their adventures and misadventures. Anyways, they've got a campaign book for the Star Trek role-playing game. Obviously, a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, but there you go. So that's what's new from Mophidius for the month of August, July, whatever month this is. And of course, yes, again, they are pushing Dreams and Machine, the first, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, independent role-playing game that they have made. I mean, they own all these IPs, but these are all from something else. This is the only one that I think they've made that is theirs. So you will see that Conan is gone because they sold that one off. And speaking of selling one off, segue. See how I did that? Segue, yeah. Fantasy Flight Games has announced what happened. Fantasy Flight Games, hello, Fantasy Flight Games. Fantasy Flight Games is, I don't know what just happened. Go away. There it is. Fantasy Flight Games has announced a new expansion for the Lord of the Rings card game. This is not the collectible card game. This is not the Magic the Gathering expansion. This is a totally separate game. This is the Two Towers Saga expansion for the Lord of the Rings card games that Fantasy Flight Games has put out. Now, at this point, I am as confused as anybody else as to who holds the rights to Lord of the Rings and Middle-earth in regards to gaming product. Because we got multiple video games coming out from one company. We've got all the stuff that Free League is making for the One Ring and Lord of the Rings 5e. We've got Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings crossover. We've got Lego Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings seems to be all over the place, but then there's also the Empowered company who supposedly bought up all the rights at the beginning of this year for the Tolkien estate and making Tolkien estate product. But then they just also apparently experienced a rather financial difficulties with 60% stock loss. So as of today, I cannot say with any certainty who exactly owns the rights to making Lord of the Rings product game-wise. Or is it just sort of, it's not open source, because the Tolkien estate does still apparently have some say in what is and is not made. And I assume a little, at least, in regards to the merchandising, it all eventually has to go back to what's left of the Tolkien estate. But I'd say this is something I need to look up and go into deeper, because I'm confused. If anybody knows what's going on with the licenses and who owns what aspect of the license, could you let me know? It'd be interesting to follow up on. But hey, we've got a new expansion to the card game. This is not a collectible card game. This is like a deck building game. I have never played this one, but I've played games like it. And Fantasy Flight usually makes pretty decent games. And $70 we might think is a little pricey, but for this style of game, actually $70 is pretty reasonable, because you're getting 10,000 cards, which you could always use for props too, for other things. Hey, who did we run into? Bam, card. You ran into Frodo. Oh, he looks just like that. Yeah. And finally, speaking of huge collections of stuff, good evening, Eric C. Are you a Gloomhaven fan? There's a new Gloomhaven thing coming out. This is called Buttons and Bugs. It is a one-player scenario, ages 10 and up, set in the Gloomhaven universe, but apparently a lot less complicated. It gives you the same deep strategy combination of Gloomhaven, but in a fraction of the size. It's a streamlined system where you can play out scenarios under 20 minutes, and it fits on your coffee table or even an airplane tray table, which you might be saying to yourself, well, that doesn't mean a lot. But if you've ever seen a Gloomhaven box, I think we talked about this before, the fact that you could fit it on something as small as an airplane tray table is like, wow, okay, yeah. So it comes with 6 teeny little minifigures. It comes with these little, I guess, scenario cards and these little character cards. It still comes with a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't know if I'd play this on an airplane. I could see parts flying all over the place, but I could definitely see it on a non-moving coffee table. And compared to normal Gloomhaven, and it's like only $15, which is pretty reasonable considering normal Gloomhaven is like $130 and going up. And if you've heard my story about Gloomhaven before. If you haven't, Gloomhaven is such a huge chunk of space that they had to actually get a special machine to seal the boxes before they could ship them out, especially with the new version of Gloomhaven come out. I believe it has 600 figures in it. So, yeah. Now, there's different types of sizes of cardboard boxes, right? There's the normal everyday cardboard box that your t-shirt shows up in. There's the standard cardboard box that you get from Amazon that you have your whatever, your paper towels or whatever that comes in. And then there's the huge cardboard boxes that, like a refrigerator comes in. Well, there's a special machine whose whole purpose is for those big things. A separate special machine for the refrigerator boxes and the TV boxes and the really, really big cardboard boxes. They had to get one of those just to package the Gloomhaven boxes. They had to get one of those multi-expensive, gigantic machines just to pack the boxes for Gloomhaven. That is how big it is. I mean, unless you've seen it, I really can't describe it. It is just like, you're just look at it and go, that's just too much. That box is huge. That's a refrigerator. How do you put this away? But it is fun to play, and the figures are awesome. So yeah, it's a commitment. I mean, it's a commitment. $500, $600 to get everything that they've ever made. But now for $15, you can get little teeny buttons and bugs, cute little mini Gloomhaven. It still has a lot of parts. I mean, but for part-centric, what do they call the part-centric? Meeple, right? Meeple games or European games. These part-centric games that just have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of parts. This one isn't bad. I've definitely seen worse, parts-wise. It still has a lot of parts. I'd still be worried about losing something, but it's 108 millimeters by 78 millimeters by 75 millimeters. So that's about the size of a microwave, right? Maybe a little smaller. It could definitely fit on a table. Again, I probably wouldn't take it on an airplane or a bus or anything moving, because those pieces, one little bump and cardboard goes flying everywhere. Yeah. But okay, cool. Good for them. So if you want to baby step your way into the world of massive miniature games, is that a name? If not, I'm making it up. I don't know what you call these. It's not quite a role-playing game. It's more than a board game. It definitely is a time investment. The parts are awesome. The maps are awesome. It's definitely the kind of thing where you're like, do I have space for this? It's interesting. It's a very interesting evolution of the borderline board game, role-playing game genre. If you're a fan of the hobby and if you've got time and table space, I recommend trying it out just once. And that's it for the Thursday tabletop role-playing game Tidbits. No controversy, no finger pointing, no name calling, no anger, just, hey, here's some new stuff to look at. And we've got a little, we've got ourselves a quest, a mystery to maybe invest half a second into. And that, what's going on with the Lord of the Rings licenses? Does anybody know? If you do, please let me know. Till next time, I've been the OG GM. I hope you appreciate this island of tranquility that I try to provide you every day amongst the nonsense that is the OSR versus everybody else versus you versus thing that seems to be burning through our hobby right now. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Until then, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Remember to like, share, subscribe, buy my merch, and I'll see you soon. Say hi to Steve.